Hello, guys, and thank you for joining me. So the Hoosiers, they've got a bunch of guys coming in. Like 3 guys came in the last few days. Thank you so much for being here today. And just gonna move that a little bit like that. Okay, dokie. So, and there's more stuff. There's more good stuff to talk about. Darren DeVries and something. This shirt. I don't know if I put this on too hot. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's do that again. Thank you for joining me. The Hoosiers, they have got a slew of players coming in, and we got a clip of Sam ALEXIS here, and I am super excited about this guy. I know he was a backup on Florida. I know that, he and one thing, I mean, this microphone, it has this the only thing I don't like about it's got this touch sensitive mute button on the top. There we go. But it's heat activated. So, I mean, I can see it on the screen, but, sometimes I'm just not looking there. But I'm super excited about this guy coming in. I mean, I did see where people were saying he's going to be a backup center or backup, forward, maybe like a depth piece. I don't know. I mean, he played on a championship level team. I mean, that is something to be excited about right there. That Florida team, I mean, I watched them a lot. We're going to look at a couple of clips of him. Pull those up here. And a couple of clips. I just have a short clip of him right here. But this is your first time. Well, that's not muted. My God. Okay. now I'm back up. My God. I'm going to tell you, I've been mowing lawns all day long. So I set this up and I was just scrambling to get out here. And, but I wanted to share this because I'm just reading articles, listening to different things about the team today. And, yeah, definitely this team. I'm gonna tell you, let's just go right over our skis. Let's just go right over our skis, and I can clip out the beginning part of this. But thank you for joining me on Indiana Sports Connection. Thank you. Sorry for the snafu. We're 4 minutes in, and I'm just getting my crap together here. So I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. Sometimes it's YouTube. Sometimes it's StreamYard. Sometimes it's my internet connection. Sometimes it's all of these different things. But oh yeah, we needed to get that first half back before they scored 35 points before our guys woke up in that game. Let me see. Here we go. All right, let's open this up. Let's take a look at. Gotta get back here. This is what has me really excited about this guy. running the floor like this is what Indiana has not had. Like just a guy that can just beat you down the floor. And over again, you just see this guy getting it done. Doesn't have a great, I don't want to really talk the numbers. I don't really want, because look, he played at Chattanooga. So it's the second play on here. Check him out. I mean, he does a great job running, staying in front of the guard there and then catching that baseball pass. I mean, that long range pass. I mean, I could definitely see with the two guys we got on the roster now that so Tate and Connerway and Connor Enright. I mean, those two guys can make that full court pass or at least get that outlet pass out and run. Like this is gonna be like an IU team that can really beat people down the floor. Like beat them to the spot. I mean, you saw Florida do that to Houston at the beginning of that game where Colton made his way. I mean, he just beat them down the floor, got a guy on his hip. That's what I like. I like that he played on a team that played fast. He played in practice with all of these like premier players that we just saw, which all those guys on Florida, I mean, I watched them a lot last year. I had never heard of any of those guys. And I was just amazed at how they went through the SEC and they did all of that stuff. So, like, let's do a recap here and let's take a look at like all of the guys that we got coming in. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't really want to get out and go like Indiana's going to do this or that. But I'm telling you, this team, they're going to make it to the Sweet 16 next year. That has to be their goal, is to finish in the top 4 of the Big Ten, make it to the Sweet 16. That was the goal for bringing in and spending all the money that we spent on all the players last year. That had to be the goal for that team. And I mean, we saw how far short we fell of that. I mean, we got beat by Oregon the first game of the Big Ten tournament and just fizzled out like a bunch of punks. So, and they don't allow walk-ons anymore. I don't know if it's if all got, I don't know. I heard somebody say that like the walk-on, and maybe that's in football too, but it's like, and I don't know why that is, but I heard somebody say that the other day. So if somebody knows about why you can't have walk-ons anymore because of the transfer portal, because of what, I don't really know. But here we go. Let's pull this up. I don't know if I can even make this bigger. But all right. So all the dudes we brought in, I mean, early on we knew Tucker DeVries was coming, and we knew the kid, the freshman coming in. I'll tell you, I got so many names from this transfer portal in my brain. So the most recent, we got Sam Alexis that came in, 6'8" forward. I don't really care about the stats with him. 4.7 points per game. I've seen other people like put his stats together and say like, oh, well, if you put him on like a 40-minute, like he had more rebounds than TJD average. This dude can get off the floor though. He's like a springy 6'8" guy that he can shoot a little bit from the outside. I mean, he doesn't have terrible form shooting. But I'm really excited for what he can do in the transition game. And will this mean that 2 or 3 more front court players will be coming in the following days? That is yet to be seen. But there's guys out there. There's Baba Miller out there. And a few guys that Indiana is targeting. And there's also a guy that Darren DeVries is targeting that's a freshman that rescinded his commitment to UConn, and Indiana is back in the running with that. So we know we got right now, I think if you're going to put together a starting lineup, you'd have Reed Bailey playing the center. So I don't know if they're going to stick with that. And Sam Alexis probably playing the forward. And then you probably have Tucker DeVries play the three. Tucker DeVries is an interesting player because he's kind of like an in between. He can play like a front court type position, or I mean, and Andy can shoot from the outside. So, and really, I mean, Reed Bailey is more of a slasher, that type of player too. The roster this dude's putting together is it's a breath of fresh air for me. Look, whether this is gonna work for him or it's not gonna work, but either way, like we're trying something different. It's like we're gonna try a totally different style, and Indiana basketball is gonna be. Yeah. This is a great joke here. He's like Mackenzie Taco Mbako, but he doesn't get stuck in the drive-through. Yes, Mbako. How many times did you see Mbako actually sprint down the court? I mean, more times when I was at games, I saw Indiana players like just complaining the whole time. But let's get back to our list of players because DeVries could definitely play in the three or maybe the four spot. Or, I guess he's more like a 3-4, but it's 6'7" wing, Tucker DeVries, prolific scorer. And then you got the 2 point guards, Enright and Tate Connerway. He's probably going to start. And then definitely Lamar Wilkerson's going to play in the 2 spot. So we got shooters. I mean, we got shooters at really all positions. And Sam ALEXIS is not like some great outside shooter. I don't want to, but he's not somebody who's going to be stuck in the mud. We know that much. Let me pull this off of here. I am very impressed with the job that DeVries has done so far. I mean, with all the pressure, all of the, not only just the moving across the country, getting your whole family set up, but this dude just went right to work right away. He's never, and who knows, like, I don't think he's going to be a guy where we're ever going to like waver in our confidence of how he's trying to get it done. I mean, he seems to really have a workman attitude, and he's gained our trust in the way that he's been able to bring in like the Lamar Wilkerson. That was a huge getting him from Sam Houston. And he was a very coveted player where a lot of teams really wanted to bring in a player like him that shoots. I mean, he is a really prolific shooter. With him and Tucker DeVries on the floor, that is going to stretch that defense like a rubber band. It's like kinetic energy. If you take a rubber band and you just you don't stretch it, it doesn't do anything. If you do, it stretches that defense out, and that's what we're going to have. But the 2 guys I have not really spoken about yet: Jason Drake from Drexel, the 6'2" guard, 11.1 points per game. He came in with this slew of players this last week, 3 rebounds per game. He's a really physical. No, it's Nick Dorn is the physical player. I apologize. I am tired and getting these guys switched around in my brain. But Jason Drake coming in, shoots 39.6% from 3-point range. And Nick Dorn is more of a physical guard. The 2 guys we got that kind of play like that could be more of our go-to rebounding guys will be Josiah Miles. It's yet to be seen how all of these guys, how they're going to shake out. And it's yet to be seen either like through the summer workouts and through some of the things. Like Mike Woodson didn't figure it out till about mid to late February, what guys he was going to play. Like, will we get information out of DeVries? Like, the Huber's Winery thing is coming up. I don't know how many press events that he'll do over the summer, but will we get a sense of like what guys are going where guys are kind of like fitting in? But we still don't have the entire roster yet. I do believe there will be one more big piece, maybe in the front court, that comes in. That seems like we, just for practice reasons, I mean, we got to have like at least 3 more guys. We got let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, we got 11 guys on the team right now, I believe. So 10 or 11. So, I mean, we're going to bring in some more players. Oh, here we go with the jokes again. Court of Public Opinion says, like DeVries just needs a hard and fast rule. No fast cars on Walnut Street. I know. That dude never got. That was kind of the beginning of the unraveling of those old teams. But, you know, it's been a long, hard road for all of us Hoosier fans. We've watched a lot of crappy basketball. And yeah, we've seen, I mean, just think of all the things that happened. I mean, Xavier Johnson punching the guy in the nuts 2 years ago. Like, I mean, there's been so many things where nobody was ever held accountable for anything. Galloway at the casino, all of these things. We're going to see a total, not only we're going to see a totally different style of play, we're going to see a totally different style of like expectation of the players. I don't think Darren DeVries is a guy that is really just not going to take a lot of shit from anybody. He just seems like a really, and the Lamar Wilkerson interview really told a lot about his personality as a coach, as a person. He's just a genuine dude that, look, that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to sell yourself. Sell yourself to somebody. Like what you do as the coach, where they fit in, and then where you see them going in the future. It's got to be, and Darren DeVries has been getting it done in that way. I have a lot of confidence in this guy. You know, back when Archie Miller came in, I kind of like gave him time, and I thought, oh, I mean, I was really baffled when the teams just could not shoot the ball, and they had really frustrating players. I do not think we are going to see that. I mean, the guys here he's bringing in, you know, we're not going to have an Al Durham that I just remember the first time watching him play is like he's bouncing the ball like way up over his head. You're like, what are you doing? Like this guy can't handle the ball and he's a guard. Hopefully all that is gone. The 10 years of that is gone. Or maybe it wasn't 10 years, but it feels like it. 2016, our win against Kentucky, that feels like the last real bright spot, you know. But I am super excited about this team. I mean, my expectation with this team is they're going to get to the Sweet 16 next year. I just think he's going to bring in the right pieces. And he's at Indiana, not at West Virginia. You got to remember how hard it is to coach at West Virginia. Not only did he turn over that whole roster, then have two guys get hurt, his son, who is a really good player, and another guy on that West Virginia team. Remember, West Virginia has to travel west all the time. They play Houston, Kansas, Kansas State, Baylor. They play tons of teams out in Texas and out in the West. And not only that, I mean, West Virginia is I just think it's a really tough job. It's just a tough place to turn around. Plus, there's a football school. We know that. Like Signetti's dad, he coached football there. West Virginia has always been a big football school, but DeVries is getting it done, and Sam Alexis, I think, is going to. I don't think he's gonna take baby steps, but I just think he's ready to take that next step from being a backup, from seeing what he was able to do in the time he did play at Florida, playing on just bringing in a championship guy that played on a championship team like that. Like, you know, this dude, if you want culture in the locker room, if you want guys, like the real way to build a team is to not have the coach be the one that has to like sit people down and make them do all this stuff because they drove their car 90 miles an hour down Kirkwood or Walnut Street. It's not to have the coach do that. It's to have the players themselves have that expectation that you got a player that's like, he doesn't want to let his other teammates down because everybody like within that locker room is holding each other accountable. You know, the coach has to do it. The players, like you have a self-maintaining system then. If you watch, and I hate Tom Brady because I'm a big Colts fan, but I've watched a lot of things about Tom Brady and how they really built the culture from within with the Patriots and how that dynasty lasted all those years and was so, I mean, I know you can't exactly do that, you know, in college basketball, but if you want great culture, and that's how it used to be before, you know, like everybody's heard the story of like Sharon Wilkerson coming in, messing around, acting like some hot dog, acting like he was above the team, like Pat Graham, like grabbed him by the shirt and like threw him up against the lockers and pretty much just like cussed him out and was like telling him, this is Indiana basketball. This is more, this is bigger than you. So don't act like you're bigger than it. And that's the type of culture that I think Darren DeVries is bringing into this team. That's why I am so excited to see, 5-6 months from now, just how this is going to take shape over the summer, how this is going to take shape in the coming months here. And it's a great time to be a Hoosier fan. Like, now we got a better coach. We got all this NIL money. We're set up in a lot of ways. We got a bunch of guys coming into the football team. We got 3 or 4 new recruits coming into the football team. Curt Cignetti stole a player from Maryland that just transferred to Indiana. So even our football team, like, this could be a time where Indiana sports, football and basketball, both get really satisfying to watch for us. And it's nice to have 2 coaches. And I don't want to speak too soon on the basketball coach. We've not even seen this team take the floor. We've not seen him coach at Assembly Hall. We've not seen him do these things. But I mean, from all accounts of like what we've seen this dude do, Darren DeVries, from what we've seen him do in just these, like a month now, just over a month. He was hired on March 18th. So he's been there about 5 weeks, 6 weeks. And by all accounts, this dude just will go over the top. He's on the phone all the time. He's communicating with people all the time. He's just a no nonsense communicator too, which also I think a lot of the Hoosier fans are going to like that. Like, Indiana, I've always thought, like, we don't have the big cities. We don't have like a bunch of city slickers in the state. We don't have a bunch of, fast talking salesman type people. This dude's from Iowa, grew up on a farm in Iowa. It's just that genuine relate to people, and, get your point across without having to. Now, I know this dude gets worked up during the games. I mean, I've watched plenty of the West Virginia games, and I think people will be surprised, like, in an interview setting and in some of the different settings, yeah, he might not go out there and be, like Curt Cignetti can really light up a room. He can really, get people fired up through talk. And he's backing that up with his actions. I'll tell you, when he was talking a lot of crap last year, Cignetti, I thought, oh, like, I'll believe it when I see it a little bit, I think we were all like that a little bit, because how many coaches have come into Indiana football and just failed miserably and kind of said not the same way, things in the same way. But so DeVries, he's just, I don't know. He's just a cool cat. I mean, I'll tell you, I like what I see out of him so far. I mean, there's nothing to really not like. I hear some of the old timer fans and, maybe our style of play, like, we're not going to have like that big center, that big lumbering center. And I think a lot of people get convinced that you kind of like have to have that dominant guy. And I'm going to just tell you, like, to me, that does not work in college basketball. Just go back and watch the Indiana LSU game in like 92, 93 when they played them in the tournament. Shaq, he could not do it alone. When you're the only guy on LSU, and look, I mean, I think Shaq still scored 29 or 32 points in that game or something. Matt Nover played great defense on him. But look at that 92-93 team. They didn't have some dominant center. Yes, we got beat by Duke, who had Christian Laettner, but it's like, it's not necessary. And in this day and age, you can get 6'8", 6'9", 6'10 guys. You can even get guards. Like, everybody's going to be rebounding on this team. You can get physical guards that can rebound. And I don't know. I'm going to tell you, I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. And I hope everybody's excited for it as I am. I can't wait to this next week to see like who all's going to come in. So I think we're going to see here through, and transfers, that the portal, I believe it just closed for players going into the portal. So you still had players that were deciding from the Final Four and from some of these other teams, like whether or not they were going to come in or not. Uh, so yeah, you got to think about that. It's like it might be another few weeks before this is completely finalized, but hopefully we see another player come in. I don't know if it's going to be Baba or uh, the big guy. There are so many guys in this transfer portal. I cannot remember all their names. It is madness. It is madness out there in the transfer portal. So thank you so much for joining me today. The video is brought to you by BetUS. Use promo code Indiana125 to save 125% on your first 3 deposits. And you can see that in the description down below. And another team doctor there. Woo! Some of the comments are going off the rails over here, but pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, he did completely turn it over. I mean, Tim Garrell's gone, everybody's gone. This is a new slate, this is a new time, and this team, this is going to be HURRYIN Hoosiers 2.0. They're going to play fast, they're going to put up a lot of shots, they're going to go get rebounds, they're going to shoot it in the first 12 of the shot clock. We've heard that over and over and over again. But what I like to see is like in-game adjustments, we have been so bad at like reading teams and game plans, and it's been so bad for the last 4 years. Like we're going to see something that's just going to be like, this dude has been around the college game, just the college game for so long. He's going to have a better feel for, okay, this guy's hot, ride the hot hand, like get this guy open, get this guy a shot. There will be games where Tucker DeVries will score 27 points. There will be games where Lamar Wilkerson scores 30 points. And there will be games where those guys are ice cold and somebody else is going to have to like pick up the slack. A well-rounded team seems like what he's building. We got a lot of shooters. When you get a lot of guys that all have pretty good shooting form, numbers, all those things, your likelihood of this guy being cold or this guy being cold is 70% winning percentage as a coach. That is pretty great. And I know it was at Drake. I know he's 19-13 at West Virginia. But I look at the scope of how Indiana's season went last year, where Indiana ended up like 19-13 as well. And then look at the scope of like how much harder that would be at West Virginia playing in the Big 12, being a first-year coach, turning that whole roster over, doing all that stuff. Now DeVries is at Indiana, a school where you can get better players. I mean, people can say what they want. The Indiana brand, it's the 3rd-ranked brand. People still know it. People still associate Indiana, I mean, not only the state, but the flagship state, they all associate that with high-level basketball still. I mean, even though we've been crapping for so long, and we had more of a run than just Bob Knight. We had a long period of time from 1940 until, 2000, where we were relevant and in the tournament over and over again. So don't let people fool you and think that he's not going to be able to pull some better players at Indiana than he was at West Virginia. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for everybody for showing up. And yeah, I have some more, edited videos coming up very shortly. And yeah, I am super pumped about this team. I'm super pumped about Sam ALEXIS. And yeah, let's just watch that one more time before we hang up here, because this dude on this fast break, this second one here where he catches his baseball pass. Just imagine Tate and Conaway throwing this pass to him in an Indiana jersey and getting out there and running, getting out in front of everybody. And I'm going to tell you, that's what has me pumped up. Beat the guys to the spot. Beat the guys down the floor. It's critical. And you know what? When you watch the tournament, like we watched all the teams in the tournament, everybody's sprinting, okay? Like, you need to play fast. Like, it's a fast game. Like, no more walking the ball up the court. I got to tell you this story before I leave, because like after the Oregon game, I was in the hotel lobby of the Sheraton downtown Indianapolis. I'm talking to some people about the just how Indiana got beat by Oregon and just how disappointing it was and everything like that. And we're just kind of talking. And there's like a lady who's like 85 years old that walks by and she says, and they're walking the ball up the court every single time. It's like, there are people that have been watching the game of basketball for a lot longer than I have. So we all have a lot of the same reactions. It doesn't matter your age. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. Until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.